We are back with some more sus Reddit stories. Last time we looked at realistic Reddit stories. All right, those are actually enjoyable. But today we're looking at the crazy ones again. The ones that I don't think are real. Because I think that it's about time with these stories, if they are real, that someone sentenced them to jail. All right? Someone explain how much jail time these people could possibly get for doing what they're doing so that other people don't actually try and bang their sister. Right? Hopefully, with the thought that you can get your drilled, you leave her alone. So yeah, we'll be sentencing them each one. We'll be looking up the sentence after each story. However, I thought we could make this fun. Chat, you can be the lawyers today. You're going to have to fight hard. If you can convince me not to sentence them, if you can convince me that they deserve to be free, I'll gift a sub. If you cannot, somebody's getting banned every time I sentence somebody. Call me Mike Ross with this lawyering. Hey, bro. Hey, bro, let's see what you got. Can I be a prosecutor? Should we have two sides? Maybe we should have one nigga fighting for and one nigga fighting against. And I'm the jury. Yeah, so I need a head for one side. Let's do Vexed versus Alex. Vexed defense, Alex prosecutor. Let's start off with you guys. Ready? Go.
The disturbing rumor turned out to be true at your school. When I was a senior in high school, we had a new teacher join the faculty to teach health and home economics. She was probably about 26 years old and everyone was talking about the hot new teacher.
Oh, this is some McKinley shit. 26-year-old teacher in a high school? Oh, she's sleeping with a student. It's over. It's over.
As I was senior class president, I needed...
But what country, though?
A new faculty advisor.
He's a senior, too.
My previous advisor of 3 years retired at the end of my junior year. About 2 weeks later, the principal called me into his office and informed me that the new hot teacher was going to be our new class advisor for the rest of the year.
Okay.
As a result, she and I spent a lot of time together at school and off campus,
Oh.
organizing and running myriad events to raise money for the class, plan the prom, field trips, etc. Soon, the rumors started flying around that she and I were messing around.
Oh.
This was completely false. I can say she never acted inappropriately towards me or suggested anything to make me think she had plans for any type of physical or sexual activity. She was a fantastic advisor and always just that.
I ain't gonna hold you. I feel like this is a lie. I just feel like the fact that he took the time to write this Reddit story feels like he wasn't just hitting that. He was diving in the pussy and swimming to her butt. He was drowning in it. They would walk in, the wrestling team would walk into the locker room and be like, yo, why does it smell like straight rubber and bubblegum in here?
That, a class advisor. I spent the rest of the year denying these rumors with friends, with teachers, and with parents. I was even interrogated by my wrestling coach the day before the district championship match.
Oh, he's a wrestler too?
She and I had a laugh about it at
Get out!
graduation, as she had to face similar questions from other faculty as well as the principal. She confided in me that she had tendered her resignation, but the principal would not accept it and said he believed her and would ensure the rumor was squashed.
Okay.
So I graduated and left for my plebe year at West Point, forgetting about the entire situation. At West Point, the first year is called plebe year rather than freshman year. The first semester of my plebe year was moving along as it should, with no unusual events worth mentioning until the final month. Then, in early December, the topic of my high school faculty advisor resurfaced. One night when I was studying, there was a knock on my door and the company tactical officer, a regular Army captain, walked in and told me to report to his office immediately as there was a phone call for me from the Dover Police Department.
What?
Now, I immediately assumed it was my brother playing some kind of twisted joke on me, since he was a captain in the very same police department waiting for me on the phone. Since my TAC was standing right behind me, I answered the phone as we were taught. Cadet Kerwick speaking. How may I help you, sir/ma'am? I immediately recognized the voice on the other end. It was not my brother, but a close friend I had grown up with and known for over 15 years. He said,
wait, are you kidding me? Wait, are you actually? Wait, wait. Did you just end the story right there? This is why I hate these Reddit stories, bruh. This is why I feel like everyone who does this, who cuts it off without giving, should be shot. Lined up on a wall and shot. In game, I'm sorry, I'm just angry. Every time. Right when he's about to put it in the steps, bro. They do this every time. Look, so the question of the day is, did he sleep with his teacher or not? Are we believing him? Let me see. First of all, hold on. A teacher who engages in a relationship with a student can face significant prison time, often ranging from several years to life imprisonment, depending on state laws. So he was a senior, so I'm gonna go 8 years in prison if it's true. Alex says she has a position of power, so it can be known that she used her power to influence and coerce the student. It can be assumed that the friend was diddled by the teacher and was too afraid to speak out. Hey, man. Say, man, that's fair. The friend calls and is like, yo, it happened to me before. Maybe that was what the friend was going to say. It happened to me before, so just be honest. I know it happened. You don't have to lie. Your Honor, the student could be 18 years old. I think the student was 18 years old, but I don't think that you're allowed to do this with your teacher even at 18. Vexed? Defense? Vexed? Hold on. Vexed is cooking up some crazy crap right now because she ain't talking. Hold on. Given the provided evidence is all purely superficial and inefficient, everything is based on speculation and not facts. Dressed up to entice a story for content. Nothing more. We have no idea the correct situation, and for a woman, this is a reasonable reaction, resigning, since her career could be blacklisted even if she spoke up. Vexed is pretty much saying she had to resign because they would point to her and make it seem like it was her fault the whole time. You know, they wouldn't believe the woman in the situation. Vexed, you cooked. And she's right, no facts here. We need to find the video evidence. Someone send the Pornhub link. Who said that? Must have been the wind. Any counter arguments? I'll give you two each. Okay. Alex said, however, even in just as a superficial thing, that this accusation calls for an intense investigation for action. L Reader, my bad, guys. It's been a while. I don't know if that pushes a point, though. What point are you trying to push? I'm not sure if that helps your case. Vexed, I'm going to pull up this poll. Vexed, take some time to say something. Had she been telling the truth, she would still be under heavy investigation. A simple, superficial amount of evidence still requires the highest amount of carefulness. The thing is, we don't have any proof, right? There's no evidence provided, which makes it harder for you. Your point is valid. We were never given a proper investigation, but the question rises. Is it guilty until proven innocent? I believe it isn't. Is your entire point based on the rumors made from adolescents? Damn! They lie about their grades. What about a rumor? And I rest my... Drop the mic on this nigga! Bow! Hey, yo. Hey, yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Vex might have just saved you, bro. Hey, yo. Hey. And my friend who was a 9th grader hangs out with their teacher all the time and even goes to her house and went to her house on Thanksgiving, even though their families don't know each other. All right, Jack, guilty or not guilty? Now that's a little, all right. I accept defeat. Hey, good round. Good round from Alex and Vexed. Vexed has just won you a VIP. It's going to... I said I feel invisible. It's 100. All right, big extra plug will be defense. Prosecution. Who wants to be prosecution? Goosey? All right, let Goosey go this time. Don't worry. We have more rounds. Prosecution, Goosey, defense, plug. All right, we back. All right, next story.
My husband rubbed poop all over my pillow because I was too tired to clean up after the pet he so desperately wanted.
I don't know the name of this crime, but that is 100% a crime. Like, you can't, what is the name of that? Big LC, I appreciate it. What is the name? I don't know the name of it.
My husband rubbed...
It's like if you pee on somebody. What do you call that?
Rubbed poop all over my pillow because I was too tired to clean up after the pet he so desperately wanted.
Crazy.
Posted by you/929225. A few years ago, I was absolutely desperate to get pet guinea pigs. I was reluctant, as I work a busy job and struggle with my health due to lupus, so I didn't want to be left to look after them myself. He is very fickle, and I knew he would get bored of them.
Oh, hell no.
This did end up happening, and after a couple of years, my husband said he no longer wanted our guinea pig and that we should take her to a rescue. I was horrified, as I believe we have made a commitment to look after her, and I would be so sad to give her away. He then said the only way we could keep her was if I took over all of her care.
Oh, hell no.
Cage. I was not happy with this because of the reasons I mentioned above, but he said if I didn't agree, then she would have to go, so I felt I had no choice.
Damn.
One day...
I would have just let them shits go, bruh. This is kind of your fault. I ain't gonna hold you. You should have let him go. You should have let them motherfuckers go.
I was cleaning her cage, as he was continuing to refuse to do this, and ended up getting annoyed. I told him it was really unfair, as I wasn't feeling well and had.
Dude, he gave you an out. I'm not trying to be on his side, but he gave you an out. He said, bruh, I don't want these things anymore. Can we just take them back? And you said no. I would have said, dude.
Had been working until 7 p.m., whereas he had been home from around 3 p.m. This is the case most days. I was using a rag to clean the cage and turned round and threw it in his direction and said he could finish it off.
That's crazy.
I want to make it clear that this did not hit him, nor was it intended to hit him. It was simply so he could have a rag to finish cleaning, obviously done in frustration. I was shocked at what happened next. In a split second, he picked up the rag and came running towards me in a complete rage. I actually
Wait, chat. Could be fought for self-defense. If someone swings at you and misses, they technically still swung, right? Like, if you swung at me and I ducked, like, I'm hitting back because, like, you attempted to hit me, right? This is from her point of view. And she even said it herself, it was done in frustration, almost aggression. But I didn't intend to hit him.
If he was going to hit me. He ran straight into our bedroom and started rubbing the rag all over my pillow, smearing guinea pig poo on it in the process. As I mentioned earlier, I have lupus and inject immunosuppressants, meaning I don't have a functioning immune system. I had just injected a few days before, I was so freaked out and was shouting at him to stop because of this.
Oh no.
I never received a proper apology for this, and he just kept blaming me, saying it was because I threw the rag at him and I shouldn't have done that.
Oh no.
On one occasion, he even said the rag hit him in the face, which is absolutely untrue. It didn't hit him anywhere. I have just had to move on from this and bury my feelings about it, but it did scare me and I don't know if I'm overreacting. What are your thoughts? /relevant comments. Commenter.
All right, we don't need to hear the thoughts. We really don't need to hear the thoughts. The story is good enough. That is the story. And I just want to say on both ends, that relationship sounds absolutely trash. Like, I'm so sorry. You know, like, you shouldn't have thrown a rag at him. Even if, like, think about this. You just cleaned a guinea pig cage and threw a dirty rag across your own house. That is disgusting, right? That's like me wiping my son's butt and throwing the freaking the wipes across the room on the floor. That is actually just disgusting living right there. That shouldn't even be a thing. Plug, what do you have to say to this? I know I'm not prosecutor, but the husband has no proof of being hit while there is proof of the poop on the pillow. If evidence arises where the wife did hit the husband, we can reevaluate. But because there is an evidence of wrongdoing on the husband's part, he should be prosecuted. Monkey's cooking, but what is Plug saying? Monkey's is not prosecutor, but he cooking for prosecution right now. Plug comes back saying, there is no physical and photographic evidence of this situation. The victim admitted to physically injuring my client, and this was self-defense. Did they admit to physically injuring your client? I don't know if she admitted. She admitted that she did not hit. Yo, Plug, you might be good. Lawyers lie. Nah, they definitely do. I think what Plug means to say is the victim admits that she threw the rag in frustration, right? The victim admits that she threw the rag in frustration in the direction of my client, causing my client to act in self-defense. Run the vid back. See, I can't put the person back on the stand. All right, here goes Goosey with the prosecution. The husband rubbing the animal poop on her pillow can be considered battery, criminal mischief, vandalism, harassment, and potentially even assault. God damn! The argument of self-defense is valid. Even if the rag hit him, rubbing the poop-covered rag on the pillow would not be considered self-defense, as my client was not actively attacking him. Your Honor, can we move for a settlement? Plug, you voted? Your nigga guilty? The argument of self-defense is invalid. Okay, even if the rag hit him, rubbing the poop, that's true. Poop, like hitting you with a rag and rubbing poop on my pillow, it's can we really call that self-defense? But the husband did the self-defense after the wife threw the rag, which means that it was not self-defense because he was not in imminent danger. Honestly, prosecution whooping that ass right now. How long would you get in jail for battery? We'll call it a couple months. We'll call it 4 months for battery. Your Honor, you're black. You're supposed to be in prison. I want a new judge. See? See? Criminal mischief. I'm putting the lawyer in jail too. Worst lawyer ever. $1,000 in damage. Now we going 3 years for this. For rubbing poop on my pillow. 3 years and 4 months right now. Harassment, 90 days. Okay, 3 years, 6 months right now. We'll stop there. That's 3 years. Plus, can I slide a 10-bit dono for a mistrial? It was a hard one. It was a hard one, plug. But I just want to say, if chat votes guilty, somebody is out of here. Honestly, Big X the plug just got somebody on this list a 10-minute timeout. Who's guilty? Nitrous. Nitrous, do you have any last plug, you bitch? You bitch! Look! He said you suck, nigga. Oh my god. Alright, good one. Good one. Are you ready for round 3? Alright, God of Monkeys will be prosecutor. Standard, you will be defense. Alright.
Update: my son ended up plowing the heck out of me. I smiled, thinking he was about to crack a joke. But instead he whispered, "Mom, do you know why I really wanted us to come here alone?" Soft, almost too casual for the weight of the question. I paused, a knot forming in my stomach.
Few years to over a decade. Alright. Alright. Alright.
Why? I asked cautiously. I wanted to tell you of the
Good
question.
luck.
I paused, a knot forming in my stomach. Why? I asked cautiously. I wanted to tell you something. Something I've been keeping to myself for a long time. He sounded serious now, which made my mind race. What could he possibly be holding back? There was a long silence, then he pulled back slightly, propping himself up on his elbow so he could look me in the eyes. "Mom, I know you're not really my mother." I blinked.
Oh?
What? What are you talking about? He nodded, his face completely earnest. I found out a few months.
Someone might just be saved. Somebody might just be saved. Wait a minute. But like, still if she adopted you, like, wait, is it different? How long in jail? My search history is gonna be crazy. For relationship with adopted mom? A few years, a few years up to 10 to 20 years or more. All right, so we'll go 6 years. 6 years for this, if that's what it is. This is crazy. Your wife gonna be concerned.
Months ago, I did a DNA test on a whim. It came back saying you and Dad aren't my biological parents. That's why I started digging, trying to figure out the truth. I sat up, my heart pounding in my chest. What? How could that be? I gave birth to you. I was there. I remember everything.
Wait,
He
what?
shook his head slowly. I don't know how to explain it either. But the DNA doesn't lie. I didn't want to believe it at first. But then I found some old letters. They were from a woman who claimed to be my real mother. She said there was a mix-up at the hospital. I was speechless. How could this be possible? And Mom, he continued, it wasn't just a random mix-up. This woman, she's Dad's old lover. He knew about it all along. I gasped. What? No, that can't be. He nodded again, his face dark. I confronted him after I found the letters. And he admitted it. He said he stayed with you because he didn't want you to know. He didn't want you to find out the truth. And he figured after all these years, it wouldn't matter anymore. I was reeling, my mind spinning with the revelation. 30 years of marriage shattered in a moment. The affair, the lies, the hidden truth about my own son.
And you sleeping with the son?
But why now? I asked. My voice
That fool
barely a
look good as
whisper.
shit.
Why are you telling me this now? He looked down, his face unreadable. Because, Mom, or whoever you are, I needed you to know the truth before I cut ties with Dad and you. I can't keep pretending anymore. And with that, he rolled over, turned his back to me, and fell silent.
After you just smashed me, you treat me like this?
The room felt like it was spinning. My world had just crumbled in the space of a few minutes. And I was left lying there next to the person I thought was my son. But who in reality was a stranger. Update: my son.
I'm gonna say men ain't shit. Men are not shit. Men are not shit. bro smashes me and then gives me the worst news of my life.
Out of me.
That's all I'm saying. That's just garbage. Okay. So first of all, who is in the wrong here? The mom or the dad for giving us a fake baby? Is that illegal? Like, who are we prosecuting right now? Both of them? The mom and the dad? 6 years for the mom will give how long in jail if someone steals a baby? Several years to decade. Parental abduction? 13 years. Okay, so we're gonna go 19 years for dad. Honestly, put them both together. 19 years for them both. 19 years for them both. Hold on, Sanders said, not gonna lie, I know I'm defending, but lock both these motherfuckers up. They're both in the wrong. I don't want to defend an inbred groomer. Standard, bro. Stand on 10 toes. Lawyers can't do that. You think they didn't know OJ did it? You gotta stand on 10 toes. You gotta stand on 10 toes, bro. Does somebody want to take over defense? I want Koopa. Koopa, confident. Put on your defense, Koopa. I'm ready for this. This is gonna be hilarious. There's no way to defend this. You just gotta think like Diddy's lawyer. All right, Monkey starting us off. The mom is in the wrong because she smashed her son without knowing he wasn't her kid. Therefore, it should still be considered incest. Okay, that's a good first round. Good first round. That is true. That is true. Defense? She groomed him too. Standard, whose side are you on? I will say, wait, Koopa says, I will say that incest isn't incest because that's not her son. All right, Koopa's making a point here. Even though she thought it was her son, it wasn't. It was simply a mistake, right? So like, if I'm smashing my sister and I think it's my sister and they want to put me in jail, but then we do a DNA test and find out it's not my sister, am I still going to get tried the same? Please wording, I have no sister. Chill out. Like, am I still going to get tried the same? The mom, even though the son wasn't technically adopted and isn't related to him, she still smashed thinking it was her son, which still in a way count as a form of, yeah. Koopa, you got anything else? It's immorally wrong, but legally it's not wrong. We're not here for morals. We're here for legality. See, Peanut Butter would have been Diddy's lawyer. He would have been cooking. He'd been like, yeah, it's immorally wrong for him to use that much oil. But like, legally, the mom is still his guardian and that's illegal. That's fair. Do you have anything else, Koopa, or is this person going away for 19 years? And honestly, because it's 19 years, I think 2 people got to get banned. 19 years is a long time. Okay, hold on. Mole Rat. Mole Rat came in on the side of defense. In many countries, incest is actually okay. Hold on, let me turn the music down. It's actually okay and isn't frowned upon. Since we never found out where they are from or their ethnicity, we cannot try them for the ways and laws our country believes in. Damn, Mole Rat! Mole Rat! Mic drop! I'm putting you on the Diddy team. You would have been on OJ's team. Okay, saved. Mole Rat saved. Mole Rat had to say, I don't believe this. I'm just trying to keep this fun. Yeah, all right, Mole Rat. That was a good defense. Monkeys, as well as the fact it's not illegal to sleep with your legal guardian. Is that true? It's just these fucking my search is gonna be crazy. Is it illegal to sleep with your legal guardian? The legality of a sexual relationship with a legal guardian depends entirely on specific circumstances. Primarily, it's not illegal. If they're of age, it's not illegal. Woo! Monkey's got something. No, Monkey said, I'm not done yet. Get off me. That's invalid because we can say that for all future stories because they are very unlikely to say whether they are in the States or not. That's fair. We can say that, but it doesn't make it not a good point, Monkeys. It doesn't make it not a good point. Anyone else have anything to add on to Monkeys? It's a 3v1 right now. Goddamn. You got to add grooming charges, right? What if this really didn't start till he was 18, right? What if one day he just looked at her and he smacked her ass and was like, you know what, Mom? Actually, I'm not even gonna say this loud. Actually, bro, let me just leave where I am. Never mind. If the mom is willing to blank with her children, who is saying she wouldn't be willing to have blank with her other children, she have others. They are in danger of. Ooh, Monkeys makes a good choice. Good point. Mom didn't even know. That's true. All right? And how do we know that he's the only son that this is happening to? Monkeys? That's a comeback. That's a comeback. All right, one more round. Since we do not know the age of the son, it also does not technically make this illegal. Since most stories specify the age and genders, the point of blank becomes invalid. That's the last round from you, Mole Rat. Monkeys, one final round, and we will vote. This vid is cooked? Nah, this is a DuckyDee ass vid right here, bro. This shit going north. You need to be at least 18 to take a DNA test without your parents' consent. Okay. Defense comes back. Okay. You cooked. If that's true, you cooked. I'm going to pull up the poll, bro. If I forfeit, can I take part in another story? We can hopefully come back to you if not too many people want to do it. You did well. However, we are not considering. All right, that's it. It's at the end. Guilty or not guilty? Defense just saved a story about a young boy smashing his mother and finding out that it's not his mother. This has got to go down in history books as one of the greatest trials of all time since the O.J. Simpson case. This has got to go down as one of the greatest since the Diddy case. Bro, Young Thug's lawyer, I don't even think he cooking this. The verdict is, truly humble under God, the verdict is not guilty. Someone on this list gets a VIP. The VIP is going to Maple Tree. If you're not here, I can't VIP you. Cooper! W defense right there, man. W defense. So I think what's better is if we hear the stories and then I'll pick the people that want to defend and prosecute.
My wife demanded I apologize to her male best friend after I caught them flirting in 3 a.m. text messages.
Crazy.
You're being paranoid and jealous, she said. Call him right now and I nodded and said, you're right.
Call him right now and say sorry?
I picked up her phone and dialed his number on speaker. Before I could say a word, he answered, hey beautiful, is the dumbass asleep yet?
In certain states, fines, potential prison time, years in some cases. In this court, it's years. 3 years already. Fuck that, 20 years, honestly, maximum sentence.
Let's sneak out tonight again. The silence was deafening. I handed her the phone and said, here's your apology call. That night, I packed her bags while she begged and sobbed, kicked her out, then changed the locks.
Oh my God.
You know what
Rightfully
they say about
so.
trust, right? It takes years to build and seconds to destroy. Well, let me tell you about the night my world flipped upside down faster than a pancake on Sunday morning. It was 3 a.m. when I stumbled to the bathroom, half asleep, when I noticed the blue glow coming from Rose's phone on the nightstand. Now, I'm not usually the Snoopy type, honestly, who has time for that drama. But something
honestly,
about
what would hurt me more than getting cheated on is picking up the phone and hearing this nigga calling me a dumbass. That would hurt me even more. Is that dumbass asleep yet? Oh my, like I would probably lose. I'd be like, excuse me? Dumbass? Oh my gosh.
the constant buzzing made my gut twist like a pretzel. Call it intuition, call it paranoia, but when your wife's phone is lighting up like a Christmas tree at 3 a.m, you don't just roll over and count sheep.
That's fair.
The messages were from Felix, her so-called best friend since college. You know, the guy who always seemed to find excuses to text her during our date nights?
Ooh.
Yeah, that Felix.
Never
The
trust
same
niggas
one
named
who'd show
Felix.
up-
Never trust niggas named Felix. Felix? Just sounds like a snake. It just gives me chills to hear the name Felix.
Unannounced with coffee just because and somehow always knew her schedule better than I did. Can't wait to see you again tomorrow night, kissing face emoji.
Crazy.
Henry's so clueless, isn't he? You
Crazy.
looked incredible in that dress today. Couldn't stop thinking about it.
And this nigga's flaunting? Flaunting?
My blood turned to ice water. Each message was like a punch to the gut, and trust me, I've had my share of those from my boxing days. But this hurt worse than any physical blow ever could. When Rose woke up the next morning, stretching like she didn't have a care in the world, I was sitting in our kitchen chair, her phone in my hands. The evidence was right there, glowing like a neon sign in Vegas. Morning, honey.
Hey, yo, good luck to defense, bro. Whoever wants to defend this, you better come in with some absolute heat. You better have Morad on your team. All right? Because that nigga's a Diddy lawyer. You better come in like you ain't came in before, buddy.
She chirped, reaching for her coffee mug. You're up early. We need to talk, I said, sliding the phone across the table. Her face went through more color changes than a mood ring. First pale, then red, then back to pale again. But instead of the confession I expected, instead of the tears and apologies, you know what she did? She went on the attack. You went through my phone? Her voice pitched higher than a dog whistle. Henry, how could you violate my privacy like that? Violate her privacy? I'm staring at evidence that my wife's been in some kind of emotional affair.
Oh, this is the UDY gaslighting.
Sometimes I wonder if people take classes on how to flip scripts this dramatically.
UDY style.
Rose, these messages are completely innocent, she snapped, snatching the phone back. Felix is my friend. My best friend. You're being paranoid and jealous, just like always. Just like always? That stung because it wasn't true. Damn. I'd never been the jealous
She's going crazy right now on the gaslighting chat. I've been the one
encouraging her to maintain her friendships, even when Felix started getting a little too comfortable around our house. Innocent? I repeated, my voice probably sounding...
You let this nigga in your home? Oh my, you let him in your... He knows exactly how to sneak in there, bro. She probably leaves an open window for him, bro. Oh.
As hollow as I felt. Rose, he's calling you beautiful at midnight and talking about me being clueless.
He probably coming in while you sleeping and smashing her right next to you, and then some of the sperm gets on you, bro. Oh! And then you wake up to check and that nigga hiding under the bed. She's like, oh, honey, I had a nightmare. Are you okay? Are you okay? I had a nightmare too. Sorry that I was shaking the bed, honey. I just had a really bad nightmare. What was it, babe? Are you okay? I don't know. I felt like somebody was stabbing me. Like they just kept getting deeper and penetrating deeper into me. I just didn't know what to do, honey. I woke up. Bro. Bro. And then you look on, you're like, what's this white stuff on me? She's like, I don't know, honey. Maybe I was sleepwalking.
You're reading too much into it, she said, but her hands were shaking as she poured her coffee. Felix is just. He's always been flirty. It's how he talks to everyone. Right. Because every guy tells all his friends they can't stop thinking about their dresses.
Oh, God.
Makes perfect sense.
Bro, I would have left.
It gets really good, and by good, I mean absolutely insane.
Walk out the
Rose
room.
Didn't just defend the messages. She doubled down in a way that would make professional poker players jealous. You know what you need to do? She said, crossing her arms and giving me that look, the one that used to make me feel guilty for forgetting to take out the trash. You need to apologize to Felix. I blinked. Once. Twice. 3 times. I'm sorry, what? You need to call him right now and apologize for being suspicious and paranoid. He's been nothing but a good friend to both of us, and you're treating him like some kind of criminal. Have you ever had one of those moments where reality feels like it's tilting sideways? Where you're not sure if you're in some bizarre dream or if the world has actually lost its mind? That was me, sitting in my kitchen, being told to apologize to the guy who was quite obviously trying to steal my wife.
Oh
Rose,
my God.
I'm not apologizing for. Yes, you are.
What?
Her voice had that edge to it, the one that meant she'd already decided how this conversation was going to end. Call him right now and say sorry. Prove to me that you trust our friendship. The audacity was almost impressive. Almost. But you know what? Sometimes the best way to handle crazy is to lean right into it. Sometimes you have to let people dig their own graves.
Facts.
I looked at my wife, this woman I'd loved for 5 years, married for 3, the person I'd trusted with every secret and dream, and I nodded.
You know
You're
what? I'll
right,
play your
I
game.
said,
You're right.
reaching for her phone. I am being paranoid. Relief flooded her face like water through a broken dam. Thank you, honey. I knew you'd come around. I dialed Felix's number and put it on speaker. Rose settled back in her chair with a satisfied smile, probably already planning how she'd tell Felix about her jealous, paranoid husband and how she'd put me in my place. The phone rang once. Twice. Hey beautiful, Felix's voice filled our kitchen like poison gas. Is the dumbass asleep yet? Let's sneak out tonight again like we did last weekend. I've been thinking about you all morning. The silence that followed was the kind you could cut with a knife and serve at dinner. Rose's coffee mug slipped from her fingers and shattered on the kitchen floor, brown liquid spreading like her lies finally coming to light. You could have heard a pin drop.
All right, we can stop about here.
Actually, you could have heard a feather drop. The only sound was Felix's voice, still going. Rose? You there, babe?
Oh,
Your
wow.
husband didn't catch on, did he? God
Wow.
is so trusting it's almost sad. I
Wow.
looked at my wife. Really looked at her. The woman I'd been ready to apologize to was sitting there with her mouth hanging open like a fish, all the color
Wow.
drained from her face. Here's your apology call, I said, sliding the phone back to her across the table. Felix was still talking, oblivious to the bomb he just dropped on his own
All right,
head.
this turned into a divorce trial, chat. This is not even an adultery trial. This is more of a divorce trial. All right, who's getting the house? Who's getting the house? Honestly, let's just say they have kids. Who's getting the 5 days with the kids and who's getting the 2 days? Who would like to defend this? I'm getting the woman out. All right, Morat and Jason, y'all two are on defense for the woman. Who's on prosecution for the woman? As in, bro, she is wilding. She does not deserve. She wants half the house. He's divorcing her, and this is the story he brought to me. He wants half the house. We got Freaky Drake and Lisa Poo. So Morat and Jason on defense, Freaky Drake and Lisa Poo on prosecution. Can I be a part of prosecution? Go ahead, Cyber Kitsune. The rest of you guys, you can throw in your points as well for prosecution or defense and help them out, by all means. All right, Morat was ready. Morat for defense. Legally, cheating is not wrong. No law states that cheating on your significant other is illegal and deserves to be paid for by a fine or jail time. The actual crime here, snooping through her phone, looking through her own personal things. She legally has the right to her own privacy without being snooped on. Rosa legally has nothing to be charged with and should be free from any legal spots because there were none anyways. To her right, she gets half the house. So he's in the wrong because he snooped through her phone and invaded her privacy is what you're saying. So technically, she deserves the house because she's the one who crossed the line in the first place. Because he's the one who crossed the line in the first place. It would have never hurt him if that nigga ain't checked the phone. Blissful ignorance. Jason says she didn't cheat. The phone is just the husband connecting dots by himself. This nigga Jason a liar. So what you're saying is the call is just a joke. All right, that was defense. Prosecution. So that behavior is inexcusable. Cheating should be a crime. Why would you not be an adult and say that the relationship isn't working? That is high school behavior, Your Honor, and should not be validated. Could have just used her words and talked to her husband if she was unhappy. Adultery is morally wrong, but not illegal. However, if she signed the pre-dub, she is leaving. But if not, she'll have to split 50-50. If the house is in his name, then he keeps it. When divorcing, the person in the wrong usually does not get any of their wishes. If the wife cheats, they usually do not get anything since they are the reason for the divorce. Same for a man. Yes, but as prosecution said, or as defense said, technically she could have not cheated. It could have just been a prank on the phone that Felix was playing. To not validate your husband's feelings is wild and unacceptable. She should get nothing from this. If you were so bold to cheat, you could be bold enough to get another house or stay with your wacky boyfriend. Okay, prosecution, put this nigga away. Put her away. She is morally in the wrong for cheating, yet it is not illegal. The problem with snooping and invading privacy. That snooping and invading privacy is illegal. What the husband could do is whack Felix and his problem goes away. So Big LC for prosecution says actually the husband is at fault here. He's the one who committed a crime. He went through someone else's personal belongings without them knowing. Without consent. He didn't ask for consent, which means he made his own story up, says Jason. The main character gets to keep the house, the dude, since it's most likely in his name, which would also mean that her bringing the guy to the house without him knowing would most likely make that a form of trespassing. He doesn't have proper evidence, however, that she cheated because even though the texts are enough, he never recorded the call to Felix, so both her and Felix can easily lie their way out. We have no recorded call. There is absolutely no evidence of her cheating. Maybe she's going out at night to hang out with Felix. The idea of cheating went straight to his head. Maybe she indeed was not cheating, or maybe she was. However, we never got her side of the story. So we cannot do anything without both sides of the story and all the facts and evidence. To also be fair, we never got real evidence as we are only hearing his word. He's not under oath and maybe is using hyperboles to exaggerate what he thinks happened to get the house into his favor. These texts were obtained without consent, taken out of context, and interpreted through jealousy. They do not establish infidelity, only suspicion. Holy shit! Defense going crazy. Maybe he was cheating, and when he saw the messages, he thought she was doing the same. The husband can argue that the wife's decision to allow a third party to trespass created a hostile and an unsafe environment. Justifying his claim so he can keep the house. That was the good one. Due to her choices that led her to this point, we can clearly see that she has sporadic tendencies. She shouldn't be awarded the house. We can also see that with her poor judgment, she would have any potential kids injured or even worse. But the husband, with his detective skills and abilities, he'd be able to find any problem that the kids face, making him the most suitable person to take care of them. And he cannot be in a tiny place with the kids, leading to my case that the guy is a more... Okay, there it is. Stop there. That was 5 minutes. Time's up. That was a good one. This one was very even, bruh. That's it. Paul? Guilty? Your Honor, this nigga stole her phone and then went through it, violating ECPA. Rose should be let off scot-free. Y'all going guilty? Yo, low-key I would have went defense. I thought defense was cooking. I thought defense was going crazy on not guilty, yo. Jason and Morat kind of went hard, bruh. They delusional? Hey, man, to be in this world, you got to be a little bit delusional to get what you want. Truly humble under God. Also, they lied. It's illegal to search your spouse's phone. Hold on. Is this true? Is it illegal? Because I could be going to jail. Yes, checking your spouse's phone without permission can be illegal, violating federal laws like the ECPA and state wiretapping statutes, even within marriage, as it's considered unauthorized access to private communication. Yeah, I'm going to jail. Oh, they lied. Wait. Repoll. Mistrial. Repoll. He illegally searched her phone. How can we trust a man that is illegally searching her phone to be even honest after that? One lie turns into multiple lies. Maybe he just wanted a reason to divorce her. Repoll. He's the only person to commit a crime in this story. We cannot trust that man. This is a lot closer than last time. All right, it looks like in the end, guilty is still winning. All I gotta say, bro, defense, that was a hard case. And you did so well. But unfortunately, she is guilty for up to 3 years in prison for adultery, as well as losing the house. Someone on this wheel is getting timed out for 20 minutes. Can we ask for parole? This is crazy. Wait. Oh my God. I ain't gonna lie. Nitrous, you're gonna have to take it because that's great content, bro. I just got it. Just know that it was worth it for the content, Nitrous. Hey, yo, defense. I'm gonna just give you a warning. Defense. If you are fire at arguing, Morat, it's you. Vex not here. It's been Morat and Goosey. Y'all two niggas been fire. Jason too. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all three gotta hold the defense if you want it again. But this one.
Gave brain to a dog. Gave brain to a...
Hey, yo. Guilty. It's over. Guilty. Hey, man, hold on. Defense thinking. Defense. Just think up, bro. Just think up.
Gave brain to a dog. First of all, I'm really sorry if this isn't normally accepted, or if I'm breaking any rules.
Honestly. Oh, here's the last search of the day. First offense, 7 years. We'll call it her first offense, 7 years. Animal cruelty too? Okay, yeah. We'll give her 14 years. I can defend this? All right, hold on.
Gave
This
rein
nigga
to a
said I
dog.
can defend this. Hold on, nigga, hold on.
Gave brain to a dog. First of all, I'm really sorry if this isn't normally accepted, or if I'm breaking any rules here, but I want to confess this to somebody, and I can't really do it with people I know. Lately, a colleague who travels a lot with her, and they can't always take their 2 Rottweilers, M+F, with them, so they stay at my place for a couple days. Now, I can imagine some of you picture Rottweilers to be a scary, aggressive breed, but believe me, these 2 are really sweet once you get accustomed to them. They also really are beautiful too. They're trained, and overall they're very obedient too. I very rarely get to take care of both dogs at once because they're very active and demanding in attention's care, but mostly because, according to their owner, the female is still too young to breed. Yet the male occasionally already tried to hump her a few times, so they prefer to keep them separate when they're not supervising them, so to say. Now fast forward to my story, yesterday. Owners arrive at my place at around 9 a.m. as planned, and was looking forward to have 3 days together with Max, the male Rottweiler. To add a bit of detail, the owners warned me that Max tried to hump their armchair and a big animal plushie in their bedroom,
I know how
and
this
that they
is gonna
said
go.
it was kinda normal as he reached dog puberty, but couldn't mate yet. I just laughed it off and thought, yeah, whatever, but damn, I had no idea this would have led to, well, yeah. Couple hours later, just as we come back from a jogging walk by, he immediately ran to my living room and tried to mount the couch. I remembered what the owners told me and it made me giggle again. I tried calling him couple times but nope, he didn't want to reason. I
gonna
tried
cut
to
off
distract
here.
him with a dried bone thingy but nah, still no luck. I managed to move him a little bit but he shoved me aside a bit, like, hey can't you see I'm busy here? And then he started sniffing at me, my jogging pants, gave brain to a
I knew it was going to do that. I knew you were going to cut off right when I needed the best part of the story. So I'll just finish it for you. She couldn't call the dog. He couldn't call the dog to do what he wanted to do. And he realized the dog was excited. So they said, you know what? I'll finish you off instead. That's the story. I could just end it for you right there. We know who wants to defend this? Jason and Goosey are back again. Who's prosecution? Miss Tech and Me the Man are prosecution. Defense is up. The dog was having medical issues. The dog sitter simply relieved the dog's medical issues the best way possible. Goosey starting us off. Like, is it animal cruelty? Is it, yeah, if that was the only thing that she could do? What if the dog had gotten bit on the wee-wee? What if she was just saving the dog that way? In zoos, they specifically have jobs for humans to get off elephants so that they don't go crazy. She was helping the dog. Me the Man said the dog was never said to have issues. He's on prosecution. Best case I can see, okay, Vex taps in. Best case I can see is a plea of insanity, which means the woman isn't of right mind and you can't try a person without a psychic evaluation. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Stepped in crazy. Defense going crazy. I raise mental health issues for the woman, so mental hostility is more beneficial than prison, Your Honor. Okay, she might go to the asylum. Bestiality is considered illegal, Your Honor. Plus, it's animal cruelty. That's all you need to know. I don't know if that's a good argument, man. She's insane. Because the person was taking care of the pet, acting as a sitter or bailee. A judge may view this as a breach of trust. This is often considered an aggravating factor because the perpetrator used their position of authority over a helpless creature to commit the crime, leading the judge toward the maximum allowable sentence rather than leniency. Using her position of power to take advantage of a dog, prosecution says. The defense asserts that due to a severe mental disease, the defendant lacked the capacity to appreciate the nature and wrongfulness of her conduct at the time. Hey, yo, Jason, what's going on here? Jason, you cooking? Jason not fucking around. This nigga said I can free her. Animal cruelty is not letting the dog release the tension. We have no clue if the dog sitter even had hands to, so oral could have been her only way. Oh my God. As well as she could be clinically insane, causing her to believe that this was the best. These defense niggas are insanely good at this. Oh my God. Well, since we cannot see the defendant, that is true. She might not have any hands. She might be disabled, armless, and she was the only neighbor they could leave her with. Then she said, no matter what happens, I will make sure the dog is taken care of. She realized the dog just needs some relief. And since she's a bit insane, she said, let me relieve you. Look, hold on. Vex says, I restate, the fact that she was laughing up until the act is further proof that she cannot separate reality and fiction. These defense niggas, I swear they could defend OJ. I swear they could. Some vets advise that when the pets get overstimulated, it's best to make the dog finish. She might have been licensed practitioner in animal care due to her profession and previous history with this sort of thing. She knew that head was the quickest way to get the dog to start acting right. We do not have proof of any mental disabilities, says Monkeys. Okay, Miss Tech, if she's considered mentally unstable, what if the story's fake? She could have probably made it up. Plus, it probably happened another way, but she describing it in a more weirder way for attention. So she deserves to be in the mental asylum. Wait, Miss Tech, you're taking the wrong side. This nigga said we don't know whether or not it's legal in her area. Hold the phone. Y'all niggas going too deep. Hey, man, stop. That's it. Time's up. It's been 5 minutes. That was wow. So, guilty, bestiality, animal cruelty, 14 years. Not guilty, insane asylum, chilling. Here it is, dude. If you were voting guilty before, all I'm going to say is I hope you listen to the defense. And I hope you listen to both sides. But you must hear what the defense is also saying, since this is a crazy case. I say that because it is always innocent until proven guilty. Jury should be impartial. Judge based on evidence, not personal emotions. This is a woman's life we are arguing. Hey, man. Hey, man, I know I'm not supposed to vote, but I'm voting not guilty. Them niggas went crazy. I ain't go. Defense went nuts. No. Defense went absolutely nuts. You can't reform a person who doesn't know he's wrong. The verdict has come to guilty.